Hey, it's Gloria, and this is Ticket to the Stars Presents. It's Tuesday, November 13th, 2018, a minute or two after 3 p.m., and today's interview is with star guest Tristan André Parks. Let me say his name again, Tristan André Parks. One more time, Tristan André Parks. Let me tell you, this is going to be a household name one day, very soon, I guarantee it. This interview is so rich. We opted to split it into two parts, part one and part two. Part two will be airing next week. That's November 20th, 2018. So, same station, same time, TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on Little Raleigh Radio. Now, in this interview, Tristan André Parks perhaps is a voice of the past, the present, and the future, in that he explains how he actually feels he's been here before. And how he actually feels this in his body, and how this informs his work as an artist. You'll get the chance to see Tristan André Parks perform if you make your way on over to Playmakers in Chapel Hill in the production of She Loves Me. It opens tomorrow, November 14th, and it plays through December 9th. She Loves Me is a holiday musical, one that the Wall Street Journal calls a pure delight, the most romantic of all romantic Broadway musicals. So go get your tickets now. And in just a moment, when we get back, we will be sitting down and hearing from the radiant star, Tristan André Parks.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars, we bring the stars to you. Be inspired.
Two things, determination and discipline.
We think about money. We think about, what if my body gives out? What if it doesn't? I think we have to give our dreams an honest shot.
And be entertained, tuning into interviews with the stars of the entertainment world here in the Triangle and beyond.
I'm literally in the middle of Times Square right now.
My dad took us to the local carnival. We were so excited because we didn't get to do normal things, On the way out, we're like, Pops, can we get a souvenir? He said, a souvenir, really? I'll tell y'all. He said, then where's your ticket? Frame that.
Find out what's going on and what's up next.
We've got two upcoming events that we're excited about. The first will be happening in October in partnership with the Wicked Witch.
Get up close and personal with the stars.
This was a real passion project of mine. This was a project that I wrote, produced, directed, and edited.
Let's hear that again, please.
I was diagnosed back in 2012. The only cure is a bone marrow transplant.
And find out what they stand for.
But I want to be very careful because a lot of theaters say, we're relegating our risky work, new work to a second stage. And I'm very, very adamant that that's not what's happening here.
And we want to make sure that it's understood that we respect a person's right to be who they are.
The rest of us are out here doing it because we love it, in the same way that a dancer has to dance and a writer has to write. A filmmaker has to make films because without it, they will wither and die.
This season on Ticket to the Stars Presents, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.radio.org, a Stargaze Broadcast. Now back to TTTSP with this week's exciting star guest.
This is Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars. Hey, baby, we bring the stars to you, from rising stars to superstars and all the stars around and in between who are making their mark on the entertainment scene here in the Triangle and beyond. Whether out front or behind the scenes, these stars know how to shine. I'm your host, Gloria. And today on Ticket to the Stars Presents, well, we've got a superstar. Ticket to the Stars presents Tristan André Parks. That's a good place for you just to let your love and laughter come to the microphone. You hear that voice, guys? You hear that voice?
Yes.
Tristan André Parks, 24 years ancient and fashionable. He is the child of Mary Robinson Corley and Christopher André Parks, a Nashville native, finishing his third and final year as an MFA candidate with the Professional Actor Training Program, UNC-Chapel Hill. An immersive dance and theater maker, artist, and abolitionist. He's worked with Marion C. Jackson Center, an organization that upholds the history of Northside District in Chapel Hill, and Color Fest Incorporated, that works to bring art access to those who otherwise would not be able to consume it. He has, and I quote, been placed here to wake the world up. Ashe, and amen. Look, we're dealing with a very spiritual artist here, a global artist. You'll notice he said in his bio that he's ancient and fashionable. And I've learned with talks with you, Tristan, that by fashionable, we're not necessarily talking about the fact that you look great today and you look great all the time.
Likewise.
Thank you, Tristan.
Beautiful.
But that you say radiant. It means that radiant. Oh, thank you. Like
yes.
stars, right? Right? Like stars.
You are a star.
You know, like when you say fashionable, you're talking about being current.
Yeah.
I remember you used that word. So tell me what you mean. I think you're doing a juxtapose between ancient
and fashionable. Yeah. I definitely mean like I am of this world today and I've been of the world in the past. And so I'm a culmination of both worlds, and they juxtapose each other and yet they inform each other, being ancient and current. So modern, I like to think of it as modern, very contemporary.
But you feel you're one of those who've experienced people calling you an old soul?
I've been referred to as that, but I definitely feel in my body, even on this 24 years of earth, like
wow,
just my connectivity to the divine, and just feeling like I've been here. I've lived many a lives and I've learned many a lessons. So yeah.
That is deep. Tristan, you are so deep. And you are right here with me. I feel so fortunate. He's let me into his galaxy, guys. And you who are listening, aren't you so lucky you get to be in his galaxy right now? That's what we're about here on Ticket to the Stars Presents. We bring the stars to you. He's got this lightning bolt earring hanging from his left ear.
Paying a little homage to David Bowie.
Oh, amen.
And Prince.
Look at that. Yeah. And I see sometimes, I think I've seen a picture of yours. You had a feather.
I do. I have more. I love my one earring, and I have a feather one. I have one that's in the shape of a triangle.
Oh yeah, they have to be long and dangly though, right? I love them.
Yeah.
So 2018 is a big year. It's been a big year for you at Playmakers.
Praise.
You did Leaving Eden in April. Cabaret in July. Sherwood, The Adventures of Robin in September. And now, Tristan, you're in the production of She Loves Me.
She Loves Me, yeah.
That opens next week, November 14th. In fact, by the time this airs, we can say that it will probably be airing the day before it opens.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So it opens, for those of you listening, probably what you should be hearing is it opens tomorrow. Get your tickets now, guys. Get your tickets now. The Wall Street Journal says that She Loves Me is a pure delight, the most romantic of all Broadway musicals. Variety magazine says it's absolutely flawless. Tristan, what I want to know is, what would you call She Loves Me?
She Loves Me is just an endearing piece of art. It's an endearing piece of theater. And I think that, when people come to witness it, they'll feel warm. They'll feel warm and they'll feel loved.
That's a great feeling to have during these the fall.
Yeah,
winter
absolutely.
weather, right?
I think so. I think it's a timely piece. And I think that when audiences come to witness it and see it, that they'll be incredibly, they'll wanna turn to their loved ones and remind them that they love them.
Yeah, spreading that love. That's a powerful, definitely tangible thing.
Yeah.
I know Miss Vivian Benesh, the producing artistic director, she said that the director for this show wanted to focus more so, if I'm not mistaken, on actors who can sing as opposed to singers who can act. Has that been your experience? Did you take that approach?
I definitely think so with the classic musical like this. I think that it definitely requires Titan vocalists to carry the show, who are also very gifted in storytelling. And so I think that's definitely been the case. We have a cast of very strong leads, very strong vocalists, Titan performers, Titan actors, and they are really delivering this work. I think so. Right. Yeah.
What can they expect from you? What can in She Loves Me?
Well, for me, I am acting as the ensemble.
That's important.
Also as dance captain and assistant to the choreographer. So
look at that.
So for me,
that's a lead role. You're the dance captain and assistant
into the choreographer, yeah.
Can I bridge that with a question I have for you regarding the fact that you are a graduate dance instructor at the school. So while being in your third and final year as an MFA, what should I call it? Actor, right? You're also a teacher there,
Yeah.
a graduate teacher as a dance teacher.
Yeah.
And in fact, they bring you in even into the productions I'm seeing because you're an assistant choreographer and she loves me.
Yeah. Assistant
choreographer. What was the other one?
Dance captain.
Dance captain. So what is a rehearsal like for you when?
Well, it's I come in and I act as a member of the ensemble, and whatever the choreographer asks of me, I'm there to provide. If she needs some like insight, if they need insight as far as like seeing how the story can be further told through dance. I'm there to provide that for them.
Do you feel very comfortable in that role?
Sometimes it's iffy because if I'm in the ensemble, I don't want to assert myself in the other roles, but I definitely have that autonomy, and so I'm learning that it's okay, Tristan, in that you just need to assume that position. And that Tracy Bursley, who acts as the choreographer for this show.
Tracy Bursley?
Bursley.
Oh, Bursley. Okay.
Who acts as the choreographer for this show, she is always like, Tristan, I need you.
I need you,
just,
baby.
Yeah.
Seems like you're going to have to. Well, how do your colleagues respond to you when you?
Oh, they definitely receive it well because there's no ego. It's always just, it's a matter of work. It's like we're here to collaborate.
Right.
It's a collaborative effort.
Yes.
And so there's no ill will toward anyone, and it's all
working towards a common goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, I know over the summer, I understand, tell me if I'm incorrect, but you participated in an intensive program called the Gibney Dance Company Intensive.
Yeah.
Over the summer,
yes,
right?
I did.
Does that inform at all what you bring to your dance? The classes that you teach?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Are there any specific things that you really have implemented from
that?
Yeah. Tell us about that intensive program.
Yeah, that intensive program. It was a 2-week intensive at the Gibney Dance Studio in New York City.
In New York.
Which is a organization and dance company, Gibney, started by Gina Gibney.
Who is she?
She's a choreographer, modern dance choreographer, and living in New York City. And she began this company, I want to say, early 2000s, mid to early 2000s. Don't quote me.
Okay.
Gina Gibney, she started this company as an immersive dance collective to really like utilize the worlds of dance and to utilize the worlds of activism and to marry them together. And so what the company does is not only do they perform and present work, repertoire, but they also go into institutions such as domestic violence shelters, high schools in New York City to look at and examine human life through dance, how we interact with one another. How to problem solve.
Wow.
Looking at healthy and non-healthy relationships among groups, social groups, and in relationships, intimate relationships between partners.
Wow.
And so
it's almost like it's an outreach. It's more than performance. They want to bridge, I don't know, therapy or education with
absolutely,
it. That's
absolutely. So the Gibney Company is doing that work, and they have so many artists come in and teach classes, and artists and residents who come and perform and present solo works, who come and just give their hearts and their art.
Yes, heart and art.
And I think that they're doing something really beautiful up there. And of course, I like to implement that into my practice.
Yeah, how do you do
as
that?
An instructor? So of course, every great artist learns from an artist before them. And so the stuff that I've carried from Gibney over the summer is some of the physical things that I've carried is that, implementing architecture inside of my work.
What does that
I've
mean?
learned from that I learned from Mr. Nigel Campbell, who is one of the company members and teachers. And he also has his own program called Move NYC, which is dedicated to Black and brown youth who might not be able to access dance because of financial, they're met with a financial situation in which they're not able to witness or be a part of dance. And so he started this program, Mr. Nigel Campbell, who's from the Bronx, and he's taken some kids from the New York area some black and brown youth, and he's trained them and developed them to be dance titans. And
I like that.
Yeah,
dance titans.
Yeah, and so I really was inspired by his work this summer and him teaching his workshop and his modern and contemporary dance workshops that we would take in the mornings at the intensive. And I implemented some of his practices inside of my work, and of course not only Nigel Campbell, but from past teachers, not that I've learned from in the past. And,
over years.
And that I celebrate their work, and so I honor them inside of my space in my drama 155 course at UNC. So,
drama 155. That's what it's
for
called?
The actor. Yeah, movement for the actor. Yeah.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars, we bring the stars to you. This season on TTTSP, we talk to the bright spots here in the Triangle and beyond. Out front or behind the scenes, these artists know how to shine. This season, meet the visionary and founder of a women's theater festival, a queen of comedy who went comedy instead of crazy. Meet an award-winning producing artistic director of a professional theater company, or an R&B singer dropping a debut EP 20 years in the making. An actor getting an MFA from one of the country's top-rated acting programs, or a documentary filmmaker turned horror film producer. On Ticket to the Stars Presents, you don't have to reach for the stars, we bring the stars to you. That's TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.org. A Stargaze Broadcast. Now back to TTTSP with this week's exciting star guest.
Well, I also know you're taking a class. I wonder what this class is called, where you're actually devising a solo artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that class called?
It is a movement. So it is Drama 728, movement for the actor.
I love hearing the name. Seems like it could be a good name for a television series. What do you call? I'm looking off in the distance because I'm just visualizing it. But but it's like, say the name of the class again.
It's Drama 728.
Drama 728.
Yeah.
Drama 728. Starring Tristan Parks.
It definitely does have that resonance.
So that's a dance class as well.
It's more so just a movement class of. How, again, the choreographer for She Loves Me is that instructor for that course. So she approaches it more through an actor's lens.
Yeah.
It's more through how can we embody character through the body. And so she approaches it from that lens, and I approach my class, which is an undergraduate course, through a more dance language.
Right. Mm-hmm. I understand that. And this is the piece you're working on is a James Baldwin piece. Did you select that?
I did.
Yeah.
We began with generating content, and I've just been so inspired by James Baldwin throughout my collegiate years. And so I discovered him in undergrad.
With a book or conversation?
Just conversation and learning about him through other activists, popular activists that we've upheld throughout our years, such as Dr. King. And by way of Dr. King, I've learned through Baldwin, learned about James Baldwin, Audre Lorde, all of these great scholars and abolitionists. And so in undergrad, I discovered him, and I first read Giovanni's Room.
Yeah.
Even before then, ironically, I was so young, I was doing a church play of the Amen Corner. Okay. But then I had no context, frame of reference of who James Baldwin was.
Right.
So I did a church play of the Amen Corner, and I look back and I say, well, even before my discovery of James Baldwin, I discovered James Baldwin before I even discovered James Baldwin.
That's that ancient stuff you talk about, right?
Yeah. And so I was just, I'll say, oh my word, you've been a part of me for so long. I didn't even know. And that's the beautiful thing about history and people and honoring those who have come before is that we don't know until we know, and we know until we know.
I love that. We don't know until we know, and we know.
And when we know,
right?
I
love that. Did you coin that?
Just in the moment, but I'm sure somebody else has coined that before.
Well, I want you to create a bumper sticker of that if you haven't, and we'll get that going.
Oh,
I love that. So so you go from the graduate instructor position, where you're in a position of leadership and leading, and then as a student being, allowing the instructor to make deposits in you, and then you're allowing James Baldwin to make deposits in you. What's that work like, though? Devising this, that's a certain craft.
Yeah, it is. It's frightening. Yeah, but I got to do it.
Is it over?
It's not over.
Oh.
No, I'm saying I have to do it.
You have to do it. Oh yeah, you gotta do it.
It's loaded. It's charged work, and so I have to do it. It's a necessity. Right now, I'm in the middle of. We're in the crux of devising it. So composing the musical score for it with a good friend of mine. Meeting with musicians and they're gonna, it'll be in talking with them about the piece and collaborating with two musicians who are actually students at the university in the music department, Kaik Vidal and Genevieve Palmer, who are excellent and Titan musicians, and having them, just talking about this work and talking about Baldwin and upholding the spirit of Baldwin and using Baldwin as a collaborator in the space. And so, we'll have in-class presentations December 4th. And then I will be also outside of the university presenting this work at the Slippage Lab, which is Professor Tommy DeFrance, who's a professor at Duke of African American Studies and Dance at Duke, and he has allowed me to present my theses inside of his space. Yeah, so December 12th. Yeah.
Please let me know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the working title is They Do Not Know Harlem, and I Do. And
that's what you named it.
I titled it. Yeah. Yes. But Baldwin gave me the title, so
right, of course, because it was in the space.
Yeah, and it was in the research material that I've used. So of Baldwin, so I'm excited about that work. I'm anticipating how it will all come together. I'm still in the process, of course, of it, but it'll be an immersive dance and theatrical piece, and so
so it's not a musical.
No.
There's music.
No, it's just it's a piece of it's a storytelling. There's music, there's dance, there will be song, but I just like to look at it as as communal. I want to. My intention of this work is to. I don't want to look at it from a linear lens. I want it to be immersive, and I need witnessers. I don't merely need an audience. I need witnessers. I need ones who are willing to participate in it. I want it to be diasporic. I want it to decolonize the space and the traditions of what we know, what we've learned storytelling to be, and I want to disrupt and decolonize that. And so it'll be an immersive thing. And as Baldwin states, I think we as witnesser, we don't need to merely be observers of art, but we need to be a witnesser. We need to be front-footed about how we witness the art. And so that's what I think. That's what I envision this piece to be, is that when those who come to witness it will feel free to be a part of it, because they are a part of it. And I need you.
Well, is it open to everyone?
Absolutely, it's open to everyone.
When I
perform it, yeah.
And this is not the Duke piece. This is at Duke. When you do it at your school, it's not open.
Yeah, it's open to both. But
tell us those.
Yeah, so December 4th, at 10:30.
10:30
at UNC at the Center for Dramatic Art.
Okay.
That's
seeing the one that you've been.
That's the in-class showing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we get to be in the class and see this.
Yeah.
And then the other one at Duke.
At Duke is December 12th at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yes, at Slippage Lab.
That one's Slippage Lab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes,
you'll be ready.
We'll be ready.
We'll be ready. So when you're going through that, when you're working on that particular piece, when you're in shows, I'm wondering, is there a particular person who's your go-to person, a certain actor or friend or someone outside of school who you go to for decompressing, for laughter, for advice?
Mm-hmm. multiple people.
Multiple people.
That varies.
Yeah.
Of who the spirit.
Okay, so maybe when you are in rehearsal, what's and you all go on break, is there a certain action you take to? Do you need to decompress in between? And what generally, just kind of like, what's that like for you?
I mean, I generally pick up if we're on break, I generally like pick up a book.
Do you? You read?
I read. I generally pick up the book, or I check my email or something like that.
Something like that.
You know, but it's always like, when I'm in rehearsal, it's so funny because that's rehearsal, but I won't decompress until like that is done. Yeah,
that makes sense. So, if there is anything in particular that has been challenging as you've gone through 3 years of this MFA program, is there something that comes to mind?
Holding on to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, really holding on to myself, because I think as an artist, when you go through this process of any forms of interdisciplinary training, it's easy to lose oneself, to forget the love that you have for the art, because it becomes so institutionalized. It can feel institutionalized, or you can feel that you're being broken down. But
by the work, or by
that
abstract, the institution.
By the institution, by those who are in positions of power.
Right.
There's always a power structure there when you're in the role, when there's a role of teacher and student, or dean and student, artistic director and student. So it's always that like kind of power structure, and you like, what line am I walking here? And at the same time, in your personal life, you're also growing up, and so much of our artistry informs our personal life. And I like to think of myself not as an artist, but as a human being. And by way of being a human being, I am an artist. And so that means I am evolving. I am ever evolving in life, and because I'm evolving in life, I'm evolving in my art and my practice, my discipline, and so that's what I've learned throughout these 3 years, is to remember who you are, Tristan, and whose you are, and that you are right. You know exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and
you do, because you've been here before.
I definitely feel that in my body. I don't say that in vain. I definitely feel that in my body. I've experienced so much, and I'm grateful, and I'm glad.
Hey, and I'm glad. I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to tune in to this interview, part 1 of star guest Tristan André Parks' interview here on Ticket to the Stars Presents. And I hope you'll tune in next week, November 20th at 3 p.m. Again, that's TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on Little Raleigh Radio. Hey, and go out and get your tickets to She Loves Me. Again, it opens tomorrow at Playmakers in Chapel Hill. Go see Tristan André Parks doing his thing. And listen, I love you. If you have questions or comments for me, please send them to me. Send me a message to stargazestudios at icloud.com, stargazestudios at icloud.com. I'm your host, Gloria, and I'm yours.
Ticket to the Stars presents. That's TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.org.
A Stargaze Broadcast. A Stargaze Broadcast. A Stargaze Broadcast.
This is Jacob Downey, one of the co-founders of Little Raleigh Radio. We are elated to count Ticket to the Stars Presents and our lineup of programming, helping you hear where you are, through celebrating inspiring artists in your community and beyond with great conversation. If you're in the Raleigh area and you would like to join us and Ticket to the Stars Presents in amplifying great voices, email listen@littleraleigh.org.